Opsys360.
Part of the thrill of the job is that how do I get all this done with the time that we have left before the event?
Vocatio is our podcast highlighting our professionals who are keen to take part in your challenges. In this podcast, we explore their career path and added value. We also offer at the end of each episode an HR summary of their profile. Today, we will discover Emily, who puts all her energy into event design and communication with the ambition of making the world a better place. We are here with Emily to discover about her professional journey. So to do so, we have a first question. Can you explain for each period of change in your career path why you made the choice you did?
Thank you. It's an interesting question. I've been working since I was 14, and there's very rarely been a choice in the change. The change has just happened. My professional career, really began on a dirt road in a small village in the bush of Zambia, where I was a Peace Corps volunteer. And seeing the health challenges that my neighbors were dealing with day in and day out really kind of set me on this path of not able to imagine working on anything else. From there, I got a secondment with USAID. Then that was my first African AIDS conference or International AIDS conference. And it's been one delightful adventure after another kind of ever since. It's not really a path, I would say, where you just put one foot in front of the other. It's more a series of leaps, falls, and lucky landings.
Great, thank you. Just one more question. You said that you begin your work in Zambia. Mm-hmm. How did you land in there at first?
Oh, the United States government under President Kennedy started a program called the U.S. Peace Corps. It was a service opportunity as an alternative to fighting the war in Vietnam. You say what you think you're good at, and they find a place in the world for you to go.
Okay, so it was not an obligation to do the thing.
No.
It's something that you wanted.
Yeah, I finished university. Knew I didn't want to write another paper, so didn't go straight into graduate school, but instead looked for a professional opportunity. I knew I was good at going overseas. I knew I was passionate about health issues. I had been an emergency medical technician, so the people that run around in the back of ambulances. I had done that during college, and so this seemed like a good opportunity to figure out what I wanted to do next, and it turned out to be the right choice.
I don't think you have a clear direction in mind for the next 10 or more years.
Yeah.
But where are you now and what you want?
Where am I now? So I'm bridging my expertise in events in all continents, all settings, with any variety of kinds of participants, with kind of accidental knowledge of communication, execution strategy. I was lucky enough in 2015 to get a contract with UNICEF Headquarters Division of Communications in New York City and worked for them for an absolutely backbreaking but incredible year. It was the year that the world shifted from the Millennium Development Goals to the Sustainable Development Goals that we have now. So there was a lot of excitement and a lot of marketing and a lot of campaigning that we did. I guess if you had to chunk up my work, it was health, community health, communications, events for a very, 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 very long time. And then communications and events kind of hand in hand since then.
We will go to the second question. So it's a more precise question about how you work. So when you face competing demands and/or opinions, how do you decide which issues to focus on and which to let evolve without direct intervention?
Competing demands are absolutely what event professionals deal with most. Event professionals are said to be adrenaline junkies, and I mean that in the best way. Part of the thrill of the job is that how do I get all this done with the time that we have left before the event? Because events don't have a deadline that you can move. Once that train leaves the station, you just have to make it happen. When things get busy, I focus on what I can't delegate. I learned long ago that delegation is a beautiful thing. I take on the things that I know my team would need the most support on. When my team show me that they have a good instinct and have the best for the organization at heart, I can say, go make this happen. And if for some reason it doesn't happen quite the way I would have done it, I have learned that 99.9% of the time out of 10, it's better that it's done, even if it's done in a different way, than not done at all. So that's certainly been a growth and learning, I think, that has come with the years. The one thing that I do keep for myself is reviewing contracts before I sign something or tell somebody else to sign something. I do make it a habit to read every single clause, every single line. The COVID pandemic taught me how important the terms and conditions of contracts are. And so that's still one thing that I will always make time for.
So now another question on how you work. In a fast-paced environment like event delivery, unexpected situation or tight deadlines happen all the time. Can you share an example of a time when you initially felt challenged, but managed to turn it into a constructive outcome?
Every event professional has a COVID war story, and I think in that sense I'm no different. I mean, the hardest event that I've ever done in my life was the International AIDS Conference in 2020. The lockdown happened on March 12th, as we all know and remember. 15 days later, it was decided by our board that the AIDS conference would go ahead as scheduled in early July, but it would be entirely virtual. And so I can't tell you how hard that was. We had to, as I just said, break existing contracts. We had to identify new suppliers and put into place new ones. We had to invent new ways of delivering content online. I had a team stretched across 9 different time zones. We were committed to delivering content around the clock. And it was just the pressure of ensuring that happened, that it remained accessible. So it was 90 days of hell, but we pulled it off. And I think what I'm most proud of, and in terms of that constructive outcome, was because we were kind of one of the first on the calendar that year to not postpone or cancel. We were able to help other societies like us. My team and I, despite being absolutely flat out, we really made a concerted effort to share our learnings, our stumbles, and our successes with the other societies in our network so that we could all survive and do well under incredibly challenging circumstances.
And what kept you going every morning?
You go forward because you have people counting on you. And that's why I've always loved the events that I've worked on. I've believed in their mission. I've always said I could never do the Geneva Car Show back when it existed, because the work that we do in delivering these global health-oriented events make the world a better place, or try to. These meetings that matter get me up out of bed and in my boots every morning. It's really that stopping isn't an option. You can think things are full and in place and done, but there's always room to kind of squeeze in, even when you think everything is as full as it can be. So I think that's been a kind of philosophy that I've used, both in terms of building conference programs, building events from the big pieces up, but also, just in terms of figuring out how to prioritize things.
Okay, great. Thank you. Last question today. If you have a director or someone that need to plan an event, what is your added value in the professional world?
Because I've worked in both large and small organizations, from intimate gatherings to kind of these 26,000 person conferences, when somebody asks, how should we do this? I can often say, well, here's how I've done it somewhere else, and this is how I think it can work. So I can bring that, kind of breadth and depth of here's some options that we can consider. That said, I often joke with my team that we need to kill Sally. And Sally stands for same as last year, because I think there is importance in terms of embracing new technologies and new way of doing things and not being married to the, well, this is how we've always done it mentality. So, I'm always out there looking for new ways of delivering. And so I love trying to adapt those kind of new practices that are floating around the commercial event world and trying to figure out a way of adapting those for global health events to bring some of that excitement and new and relevant connection. And so, I'm just over 50. I'm at this fabulous professional point in my career where I still have energy, I have experience, I have enthusiasm. I love what I do.
Now it's time for our assessment. We were able to identify Emily's profile thanks to a test designed and realized by Opsys360 to assess how she functions in a professional environment. Emily is professionally motivated by the pursuit of ambitious goals both for her personal development and for the objectives of the meetings for which she is responsible. She draws her energy from challenges and thrives in situations that offer opportunities for big picture progress and measurable impact. This mindset is perfect for putting together meetings that matter and have a lasting impact. Emily performs best under pressure as she navigates complex and ever-moving situations where flexibility, quick decision-making, and confident responsiveness are valued. She's excited rather than nervous when doing something for the first time, thus she is comfortable with evolving circumstances. Furthermore, her natural optimism that it will be right on the night leaves plenty of room for experimentation. When it comes to teamwork, Emily is not afraid to challenge ideas and invites others to ask why, which helps elevate collective performance. She isn't shy about diving into every layer of her project, from strategy to execution. In the meantime, she ensures there's also time and brain space for big picture thinking and horizon-line target setting. Furthermore, she knows how and what to delegate, keeping her focus on team growth rather than control. This harmony between influence and trust naturally fosters collaboration and accountability. In conclusion, Emily brings together high energy, deep experience, and the drive to explore. This combination enables her to achieve demanding objectives while maintaining effectiveness and reliability, making her well-suited for roles that require both flexibility and responsibility across multiple stakeholders. The Vocatio episode on Emily is now over, but Emily's career continues. If you've been intrigued by her profile and think that she can help you design wonderful wall events, don't hesitate to contact us at contact@opsys360.ch.